Hi, Susan here from It's My Sustainable Life. I'm here on the hill today at my nettle patch, being joined by a very noisy pileated woodpecker. I am here to harvest some stinging nettle root. So as you can see, I've got quite the patch growing here. It's actually in my compost pile. And I'm going to harvest the roots. It's, getting along in fall here, and the growth of the nettle is going to be turning back into the roots. But I just wanted to show you how to go ahead and harvest them. For most people, when you're dealing with stinging nettle root, it's named appropriately. It does sting. So, you want to cover your arms, use gloves, cover your legs. You never know when it's going to go ahead and give you a good awakening. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut down all of this new growth of some stems that I had harvested to dry already down to ground level. Once that's done, I'm going to take a pitchfork and I'm going to begin a good 2 to 3 feet away from where that patch is growing, so I don't harm any of the root system that is existing. Stinging nettle readily spreads through stolons, or root growth that grows horizontally along the top of the ground. And these more shallow roots are actually the younger growth, and it's not really what we're searching for. So I want to find something here I can just show you kind of that root growth as it goes. So if I pull on one of these young ones, you can kind of see the roots, how they're growing laterally along the top of the ground. And so those aren't really the roots that we're looking for. We're looking to dig deeper. Some of the root system of the stinging nettle that I cut back, and you can see the difference in the root growth. So this is a lateral root. This is one that's on the top of the surface, and that's a young root. So that's how the stinging nettle kind of spreads and goes one way, that they spread and grow. These lower, more fibrous roots are the ones that I want. The beauty of harvesting stinging nettle that's growing in really loose medium, like my compost pile, is that the roots just, they just come up. They come up so easily. You can just start pulling, and they really just start to pull up. So I'm gonna keep digging. I'm gonna harvest a bunch, and then I'll show you how to go ahead and process them. You're going to want to shake as much of the dirt out of these roots as possible, and then give them a good initial rinse. So I'll be shaking out some soil out of here and giving these a good initial rinse, and then bring them inside. I will cut off these older roots that you can see that are more deeply brown, more fibrous, larger, and I'll be cutting those away from the tender growth in the house. So bear with me as I get to shaking. So once I've processed and cleaned up the roots that I want to keep and given them a final rinse, I go ahead and I lay them out on a towel, and I allow these to dry for a couple hours to get a lot of the moisture out before I start to cut them up into smaller pieces to make the tincture. So we'll be back in a couple hours and see how that process goes.